This is Joe Costello's WFO Radio Ignition, covering everything that has wheels, an engine, and a driver.
The reason I race is to get the chicks. You know what I mean?
NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, sports cars, and NHRA drag racing.
Hey guys, just want to let you know, WFO rocks.
WFO Radio is total motorsports.
It's just so cool.
Fasten your seatbelts, fire up the ignition, and drop the hammer.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, here's your host, Joe Costello.
WFO. What's up, everybody? Ignition, back on. Another edition of Ignition, fresh back from Vegas, like just seconds ago. This reminds me of my old talk radio days on 560 QAM, like walking in the door, sitting down in the seat, and beginning the program, like, immediately. And it's great. It's a great feeling. It's a great experience. I'm ready. I'm ready to tell you about the difference between Uber and taxi. And that's what I did. I went with taxi. Because Giovanni is here. He's in the studio. He's doing the poker show. I was delayed a little bit because some guy got sick on the plane, right? We're out there. We're on the tarmac. We're getting ready to take off. And they're like, we're going back to the gate. Some dude's sick. And we're going to dump him off here. It's like, oh, my goodness. It's going to ruin the whole thing. I was supposed to land 8:20 Eastern time. It didn't work out exactly. So I get out of the airport, and I'm thinking I'm going to get myself a lift. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a lift. And then I think, wait a second. They're going to make me go to some strange, far-off, distant land to summon the lift. And then the lift is going to take forever to get there, and I know it's going to be cheaper. But let me just get in one of these taxis, man. Let me just get in one of the taxis. It's sitting right there already. And so I get in the taxi. And you'll hear the rest of the story after we say hello to Gio in Miami, see how he's doing. What's going on there, Giovanni?
All is well.
All is well?
You don't have to say hi to me. You can continue with your nonsense
Is it
story.
well? Why is my story nonsense?
I don't know. Why
exactly. You're a hater is what you are. I just came back from a wonderful weekend of, like, so many positive things. People in Vegas. Like, I'm, like, uplifted and energetic and positive. And I come back to, like...
Welcome to Miami.
This. No, it's not Miami. Miami is a wonderful, fantastic place with lots of positive energy also. You, on the other hand, you're the negative energy. Obviously. I mean, you don't, look, you're just sitting there with a shamed look on your face. Because you don't have to be.
I dispute that totally.
What,
I have
the look
no
on your
shame
face?
On my
How would you
on
know?
my face.
How would you know?
Because I have no shame.
Oh, there it is. And it is kind of true. I'll have to yield on that one. It is true. It is true. No, man, it was a thing. It was a thing. So the taxi driver is an islander, as they all are by law. Bahamian or something. But I think it is a law that all the taxi drivers, which is, that's fine. So I ask him, I look at the board, and it's going to be like $57, it says, approximately. At Uber would have been like $42 or something. And anyway, so I was like, hey, can you give me the approximate? Because I wanted to hear it from him. And he refused. No, I can't give you the exact price. And I'm like, no, I like a guess, like just a ballpark to go to Hollywood, to go to Pembroke Pines. No, we couldn't come together on that communication. Like, we couldn't come together on that. And so finally he goes out. Oh, my goodness. Giovanni has got the baseball game. He's also got the volume is still up. I tried to turn it all the way down, but it's up. And so what? Now Houston has tied the Yankees. What is going on here? This is preposterous. And that guy at the plate was out.
Nah.
My quick hot take live doing the show was that he was out.
No,
we'll
the hand
see.
was in there.
We'll see momentarily. Here comes the replay. But anyway, I almost died after having this great weekend turning into my neighborhood. He drove fast. I'll give him that. That was good debate. I had to punch in my address into his phone to get him here. Out the door, it was $60 plus tip. But here's the thing. I don't know, man. I want to see another angle. That's a terrible angle.
They don't have a good shot,
Not yet.
ESPN with 1,000 cameras can't get a good shot.
Well, let's see it. Are they even going to bother to show us? No.
They don't have the shot, or else they would show it to us.
Sometimes they give multiple. That is terrible.
I'm telling you, look, they're researching everywhere right now.
Yeah, no.
That's why they stalled and showing the dugout and
the
showing
guys
here.
in the truck. Here
this
we
is
go.
the best they got. Yeah.
No, he got it. He got in there. He was in.
Told you.
Safe. Let's see.
Here, now they're finding every angle now, you see? But it takes a while.
They had the shot.
The same as us. They were stalling for time.
He was safe.
I told you he was safe from the first shot. It looked like his hand was in there.
Bummer. Well, what are you going to do?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's two good ball clubs here.
Of these.
Two good ball clubs here. Going to have to just battle it out on the road against Houston. So turning into the neighborhood, he goes across traffic, and for whatever reason, he slows down going across the oncoming lanes while a vehicle is coming at me, like right at me, very fast. And I had to yell at him. Like, hey, we were so close to being hit. Like, how close? Was it 1 foot? No, it was, 15 feet. But still, what are you doing, man? And I had to ask him, and I was like, hey, do you realize that car was coming right at us? Oh, I saw him. I knew I was going to make it. So, number one, the idea that the taxi drivers are better drivers than the Uber drivers is false, number one. Number two, they are 1,000% less pleasant. The customer service you get in a taxi is 1,000 times worse than the customer service you get in an Uber. At least the Uber and Lyft guys, they're like trying to be nice and talking to you and giving you a comedy show or shutting the hell up if that's what you want. What would you like me to do? I would like you to shut the hell up. Okay. And then they do. Would you like me to put on some music? Whatever. Taxi guy, your life is in your hands. I couldn't get an approximation out of him. Like all you had to say, it's, $50, $60. Nope. Refused. Two, weird slowing down in the middle of the intersection driving. Coming to an intersection, now we're going across the intersection, slows down. Hey, man, this is the danger spot. You want to get out of the danger spot. Don't slow down in the middle of the danger spot. And three, try to off me in the final turn going into my neighborhood. Little did he know I have the WFO audience to rant this about, right? Rant about this too. Those people out there. And that is terrible. But whatever, I'm back now. And we are going to talk about the NASCAR race at Bristol where nobody showed up. Shame, NASCAR fans. Shame on all of you in the Bristol area. I know Elephant Racers was probably there, and I know Miller Man was there or around there. Some of our peeps were around there. But what is wrong with Bristol that you guys, not us WFO fans, but the people in that neighborhood can't go to the freaking race and just, pony up the money and sit there and watch the stars in NASCAR? What's the story? What's the deal? Because there was nobody there. It was one of the worst crowds I've ever seen in my life. And it's also all over social media. Everybody talking about how this is the death knell of NASCAR. Crowd to crowd, I think we might have had more people at the Strip in Las Vegas. Sunday to Sunday. Not talking about Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm talking about Sunday to Sunday. It was close.
It's tough to tell because that place is so big.
But they closed more than half of it.
Right, they had all the turns closed. There was no one in the turns at all.
Right.
And there was no one in those grandstands. But it's just tough to tell, if that grandstand fits normally, let's say both sides about 100,000.
Well, the whole track is 160,000.
Right. So let's say 30 on each end and 50 on each side, theoretically speaking.
Okay. And there was no place that was... it
looked like a Marlins game out there.
My guess is... 30,000, 40,000. It was empty. It was a shame.
Okay, my initial thought was that there could have been no more than 50,000 people there. And so if you told me that there was 25,000 people scattered on each side of those grandstands, I believe it, but I'd be like, yeah, is that paid tickets or actual fans? Because it was sad. It really was. I believe I even texted you. I took a video of it.
25,000 people is a packed house for a basketball game, right? I mean, most arenas are 22 to 26.
Oh, about 18 to 20 probably,
okay.
Or 22, but yes. Okay.
It
is, but those guys play 41 home games.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about going to a thing. I'm talking about just people. So we've all been to a basketball game or a hockey game. That amount of people stuffed into an area going around a court. Okay. Now you disperse those people at Bristol. I don't know. I feel like it looks like what we saw.
That's exactly my thought process.
Which is
that if you dropped, the Miami Arena crowd for tomorrow night's Heat game.
Yes.
If you dropped them at the football stadium, it would look very, scattered like that. Dropping 20,000 into a 65,000 square seat arena.
Right. Well, look.
But
whatever.
look,
it is
either
what
way,
it is.
it doesn't matter. It was pretty sad to see.
It matters. No, it matters.
Well, no, it doesn't matter what the actual, whether it was, 45 or 50. The bottom line is that it was pitiful. Like, that's what I'm saying, the exact number. But by the way, that might be what the crowd looks like at Homestead next year in March. Just saying.
Let's hope not. But
I get the feeling that the first race is going to be really tough, happening, not even 5 months, exactly 5 months later.
It's possible. That's the thing. It's like people who listen to us, and, I wonder, do the folks from Homestead, who we love, and we cross-promote with, and, I work there in many capacities. I hope they don't think we're being negative Nancy's. But, that's the gut, man. That's the gut feeling. That's the gut is telling me. Not that, though. I think we'll do better than that, than what we saw at Bristol. Capacity-wise, how full was it? 20% full.
Yeah, probably.
Right. Terrible. I've seen a lot of social media traffic about the race was great. I can't say that I saw all the race. I did see Kyle Busch take the checkered flag. I saw that. Same with the IndyCar, Takuma Sato. We had it on in the tower at the Strip in Las Vegas. Of course, we were at the Denso 4-wide NHRA Nationals. We were not sold out, but we were way better than previous spring races prior to 4-wide, which is the measuring stick. What was the event like before they went to 4-wide? Pitiful. Spring race in Vegas. Nobody was going because everybody goes to the fall race because it's in the countdown and because of SEMA and because of the playoffs and the season is about to end and all of these great reasons. A perfect example of what's going to happen to poor Homestead. Meaningless race versus significant race. The juxtaposition is just impossible. But we had a very good crowd. It was strong crowd. I was happy, especially considered the old spring race. And I had a great time, man. We had just an absolute blast. Vegas was awesome.
You don't have to tell me. I saw
everywhere.
You posting your pictures of debauchery all over everywhere.
Did you see me with George Bell?
Is that big tall guy?
The tallest man in North America.
I did see that.
Yeah, 7'8".
Wow.
He was very tall.
That's frickin' tall, man.
Yeah, it's unnatural.
You don't say.
It's unnatural. He should. Ashley Sanford and I went over and we did pics with him, and I took a picture of her. She took a picture of me, and it's amazing. 7'8" is up there, yo.
Yeah, he's more than 2 feet taller than you.
Yeah, more.
Yeah,
because I like to cheat and lie and say I'm 5'8", but really I'm 5'7", barely. And so he is 7'8". That's, so 2 feet, 2 inches taller. It's crazy.
That's unbelievable.
And, he was an older guy, too.
Yeah, I saw that picture, right? Didn't you send a picture?
Yeah, I sent a picture. I sent a picture to everyone. It was a weird weekend of celebrity stuff.
So it happens in Vegas.
Well, I met one of the presidential candidates.
One of the 1,800?
One of the 1,800. I met Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Walked into our hotel. We're sitting there getting ready to go out onto the high roller over at the Link, which is that giant Ferris wheel thing. A group of us after the race, we're going to go over there and enjoy. And all of a sudden, Louis Bloom comes in. He's like, dude, Mayor Pete. Get out of here, Mayor Pete.
Oh, you didn't recognize him? I figured
no,
you would recognize. Don't you know every single politician all over the whole country?
I know a lot of the politicians. I do know a lot of the politicians. Yes, I do. But I was involved at the bar. Barring it.
Oh, yeah? How involved were you?
I was very involved at the bar. I was barring it up. We were getting ready to go out to the high roller and go on the Ferris wheel, and it was a group of us, which Ferris wheel is understating it big time. But that was a great experience, too. It was a trip. So anyway, Lewis is like, it's Mayor Pete. And so I went over and I said hello, and I gave him a quick, couple questions. Got to figure out that this person might be president of the United States. We've got to vet them. So I vetted Mayor Pete for a few moments.
That's great.
Him. I did.
Oh, that's wonderful.
No, I did not get a selfie or anything like that. It was pure business. Go over there and vetted him. He had a couple of good answers to my policy questions. But anyway, good times.
Did you ask him if Die Hard was a Christmas movie?
No, I did not ask him that. Yeah.
If that would have been I would have known if I could vote for him or not right away.
Really? That's sad. Very sad. Let's go Yanks. Kyle Busch picks up the win. Kurt Busch second. Joy third. And Giovanni in Miami tells me that it was a late race call to not pit.
Yeah, that is correct. By Kyle Busch not pitting.
Right.
Correct.
A late race call.
Well, he wasn't the only one.
To not pit.
Right.
That won him the race.
Yes.
Let's hear what Kyle Busch had to say.
I'll say it again. I've said it a few times, but it's pretty cool to continue to just have the opportunity to go out there and win these races. And when you win these races, the numbers will just continue to add up. And the addition of that and getting to Lee Petty, I mean, you're starting to get into some really heavy company that's at the top 10 of the all-time wins list of our series and of our sport. I feel as though I've just done my fair share and have been with some amazing people over the years that have gotten me to this number thus far, and we'll just keep going.
Oh my gosh, I'm so over it. I'm so over the number now. Really, is that it now? From now on, it's just Kyle Busch and the number of wins.
Well, he got to
Lee Petty.
Jesus, how embarrassing.
Yeah, no, you're off tonight.
He got the Lee Petty.
Well,
I thought
I
was off, but I'm not. The minute I get out, they pulled me back
Let's exactly explain to everybody why Gio is off. It is because we were going to do a show, but then I got delayed. And so when I landed, I thought I was going to take the lift, and it was going to take forever, and I was going to tell him, just leave. Go home.
He did tell me, actually, just leave and go home.
And then I got in this
I will
cab.
as soon as I do. I'm going to finish doing this poker stuff, and I'll be out of here in about 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
And 15, 20 minutes later, he's like, hey, well, I'm in a cab, and I'm headed down there, and I should be there in about 40 minutes.
It wasn't 15 or 20 minutes later. It was like 5 minutes later. It was
right.
pretty rapid.
All right.
I think. It felt like
all right, well, I have empirical data here.
And so,
because the Apple phone does not lie.
Giovanni is went from being home early and not having to think about anything to, no, man, we're doing a high-intensity program. All the travel.
13 minutes later.
All right.
13 minutes later, as I was already packed and had one foot out the door.
Yeah, right.
I was ready to leave.
Whatever.
Look, it's irrelevant.
You should be.
But my mentality quickly shifted to, oh, crap, let's get the heck out of here.
Before he gets here, before that guy drops him off here.
You see, this is what 20 years of experience has taught me, that I know how things can change on a dime hanging out.
Obviously not, because if you really was as experienced as you said, you would have texted me back, I already left.
Yeah. I did slip there.
Oh, man, I already left. But why did you slip? Because of the WFO audience. You wanted to give them something. That's it. So all you folks out there, Gio is passively aggressively saying this show is because of him. He could have snuck out and not texted me back. Oh, man, I'm already in the truck. On the way home, just left, locked up, sorry. And I would have been none the wiser. But instead, he stayed. He stuck it out so he could be in here and we could be doing this show.
No, and I know I got a lot of crap to do on Wednesday night.
Really? Oh, do you?
Yeah, I got bing.
Oh, baseball.
Yeah,
children's baseball. Cool stuff. Let's give the rest of the results, and then we'll dive back into some other stuff, Vegas stories. And, Mayor Pete asking me, my opinion on various issues.
Did you ask him about racing? Isn't he an Indiana guy?
Honestly, the whole interaction, first of all,
I'm sure it took like 5 seconds.
Exactly. Yes.
I know.
Number one, we do vow to not really talk politics on the show, and we do not. But I think that, meeting a presidential candidate is something that transcends that. Like any. I would be very interested to speak and interact with any person running for president, whether it be, Herman Cain. Remember when he was doing that with the 999 thing? He was the former CEO of Godfather Pete's Pizza, right? Like if Herman Cain, I don't know him from anything, but if he's running for president and he's in the same room as me, I'm going to go try to interact with the guy because, well, number one, it could end up being the president of the United States. and that's a cool stat. But also, just to get a real indication of what they're like. To have had that one moment of like, all right, ability to judge. Because I really believe in your vote is sacred. You're going to vote for someone, you do the job, do the work. So it's the least I could do to walk over there and say what's up. But 5 seconds.
That's the way those interactions usually go.
Right. I was like, what do you think about, Medicare and how we are going to continue it for future generations? He gave me his answer. I told him, okay, I got my eye on you. And that is it. Let's give the rest of the results. Ryan Blaney was 4th. Denny Hamlin 5th. Paul Menard 6th. Clint Boyer 7th. Daniel Suarez 8th. 9th was Ryan Newman. 10th, Jimmy Johnson. Chase Elliott 11th. There's Matty D, baby. 12th. My new favorite driver, Matt DiBenedetto. Matty D. Kevin Harvick 13th. Austin Dillon 4th. Who wants to be in the Matty D fan club with me? Maybe we should start a Matt DiBenedetto fan club on WFO. Austin Dillon 14th, followed by Ty Dillon, William Lord Byron, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson. Why did all these guys have bad days, Gio?
Well, Brad K was up front and on that final restart had an issue lining up incorrectly and got black flagged.
Okay, there you go. Kyle Larson 19th, 20th, Bubba Wallace, David Reagan, Chris Buescher, Alex Bowman, Eric Jones, Ryan Preece, Landon Castle, Matt Tiff, Michael McDowell, Ross Chastain, Daniel Hemrick, Bailey Curry, Quinn Huff. This is why no one is there. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Corey LaJoie, Timmy Hill, Greg Galding, Eric Almirola.
Kyle Busch wrecked on the first lap. He got hit from behind, but just not bad enough.
Oh, wow. Well, so back to the attendance point of the deal. I've seen
nobody was there. You people, there's really no excuse. If you were a NASCAR fan, why don't you go see the races?
It's both. There's good, competent arguments to be made on both sides, and I've seen a couple people say the race was great. Was it a great race? I saw people say the racing was great.
I mean, I don't know. Great seems a bit hyperbole, but it wasn't terrible. But, two different guys led over 100 laps. Kyle Busch led 70 laps, the last 15,
Kyle 71,
20.
Joey 146, Ryan Blaney 158, Clint Boyer 24, Chase Elliott 38.
Brad was up
K
front
40,
for a while.
Eric Jones 10, and that's it. So, all right, you had some chunks.
But it was,
Ty Dillon 6. Denny
I
Hamlin
don't know
7.
what to say. I mean, I kind of get
race,
it. As
so it
I've
was a
gotten
good race.
older, there's a lot of stuff I don't want to go to and don't feel like dealing with the people. And if I can stay home and watch on TV, I do.
Yeah, that's not what's going on. I think there's no Earnhardt to root for.
Well, there's no big
superstars.
I guess you would say. Jimmy is not dominating like he was just a handful of years ago.
And even Jimmy has never been a huge fan favorite.
Right.
And the guys who are winning, like the likability and relatability is zero. Like likability of Kyle Busch, this likability is low. There are people who like him, but they like him because he is a D sometimes. Abrasive. They like him because he's abrasive, which is, not. You like people for whatever the reason you want to like them. It's not ideal, right? You can like people for whatever you want to like them for, man. Whatever it is, the good guy, the bad guy, you root for Earnhardt because he was abrasive too, but then he became a likable figure later on. And he was a jokester and he was fun. But beyond, all right, Kyle Busch, big star. Who else is oh man, you really identify with that guy. You like this guy. The story is relatable. It's something that reminds you of you, like an Earnhardt coming up hard, working hard, taking out a loan to buy tires to go out and race and win, put food on the table. Guys like Dale Jarrett back in the day.
I think the sport has changed, and guys don't have to go through that anymore, and guys aren't in their late 20s when they break finally into the Cup Series. you have guys in their late teens, early 20s that are the ones breaking in. And so I think it number one, has skewed the driver age to very young unknowns.
Unknowns who are maybe talented, but unknown. And also, I really think, and I ran into someone who said this to me the other day, and I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to float it. I don't like watching people do things that I can't afford to do, that I wish I would be doing myself, but I can't afford to do. And I'm wondering, is there a little bit of a rebellion going on from like the hardworking Tennessee type person that says, wait a second, I'm going to go pay money to sit there and watch a bunch of kids who I don't know, who don't have any connection to me at all, who are all, I'm going to say it, rich kids for the most part, because anybody that is involved in any kind of motorsports has to be very well off to even start. Even a junior dragster, that's like, let's call it $6,000 to just blow on something and then the participation. It's extremely affordable as far as motorsports goes, but there's a lot of Americans that don't have $6,000 to just drop on play. And so imagine all of these kids, go-kart kids. They go through thousands and thousands of dollars, and maybe there's a rebellion against that. Like, we're not going to go watch that. I'm just speculating. But that is one of my speculations. Don't know the kids. Don't like the kids. Are maybe a little bitter about money and finances. Maybe they don't have the money to go to the race, the $60 or $80 or whatever it is, to drop. You and the fam and the kids, okay, 60. All of a sudden, you're dropping $450 on an afternoon at Bristol Motor Speedway. Maybe all of these things are combining together to cause the perfect storm. I can tell you that if I lived near Bristol, I would figure out how to go to the race and buy the cheapest ticket I could and go there and enjoy it from wherever I had to with the cheapest ticket. Even if I'm like, I guess if my kid is looking up at me going, Dad, I'm hungry, please, then maybe I wouldn't spend the last $40 I have on a ticket to Bristol.
But if you were only going to go to one race, would you go to this one or would you go to the
night
race in the fall?
Well, the spring race has always
now
been.
That it's going to be in the final 10 races.
The spring race has always been the weaker of the two.
But they both used to sell out.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that.
How about the decision to resurface Bristol? Remember when it was the conveyor belt that everybody... That was the genesis of the problem.
Yeah, that argument can definitely be made.
That's where it went south. Now, I thought, we'll get a new surface. And they tried to do what? Remember the variable banking?
Right. Because, again, sometimes...
The consequences, the unforeseen consequences. Unintended. They did everything that they thought that they should do to make things better, and by accident, they eliminated
what it is
an
that
anomaly.
Liked.
The anomaly that was the old surface at Bristol. It had one groove, and people liked the conveyor belt, and they liked the frustration, and it made for an interesting, totally unique product. And they got rid of that, and you can go right to that race, speaking of data. I have no doubt. Sad. But what? Come on, people. You're in that part of the country. Get with it. Go watch the cars go screaming around there in 15 seconds, man. Much quicker than that, by the way. I don't know. It's a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. It was hard to see, and definitely hard to see the social media. Mentioned Takuma Sato picking up the win at Barber Motorsports Park, IndyCar. I saw that on TV for 2 seconds. Saw him take the checkered flag. Did you watch any of it? Did you see? Were you up?
No.
Because how many hours can any one person spend watching the tube?
Right.
Right.
Well, even Bristol, I had it on, but I wasn't sitting there watching actively the whole time.
Oh, you were being productive around the house? What did you do?
I wouldn't go that far, but there was, stuff going on around my house. There's always crap going on in the house when you have a kid.
Yeah.
Whether it's, your stuff, his stuff around the house. Always stuff going on. One of his friends was there, and so.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There's a couple kids running around.
Absolutely.
There it is. So, I would
That'll
imagine.
do it.
I just watched First Man.
No idea what that even is.
It's a movie.
Wow.
About Neil Armstrong, man. It's like the part 2 of The Right Stuff.
Oh, there you go.
It's like The Right Stuff, but about the Apollo program as opposed to the Mercury astronauts. And they take you through the whole deal. A little artsy. I liked it. It was good. I also watched Vice.
Like Miami Vice?
No, it's about Dick Cheney.
Oh, like Veep?
Now, Veep is a show on HBO that features Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, but like Veep, wasn't she the vice president in that show too? Isn't that why it's called Veep?
Well, that's the thing. The word vice implies that. Vice president.
Well, again, you said vice. My
Vice.
first thought was Miami
Drugs.
Vice.
Oh, gambling. Vice.
Right, yeah.
Vice president. It was good. It was
I
interesting.
think there's a show on HBO called Vice. I don't know if it's a news show. I'm going to assume it's a news show now that you mention it. But.
It's a news show. Vice. Yeah. So let's see. Fantasy results. We're blowing right through this one, huh?
Oh,
We'll
this is
get you
great,
outta
man.
here.
I might be home in 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have anything to offer this program? Or are you just totally, you got nothing?
I mean, what we offer, like in particular?
To
I
the
mean,
audience. To the
I
people.
always have lots of stuff to offer.
Well, we'll see when we get to SportsCollision. Isn't what's up with the NCAA, the tournament?
Yeah, especially now that the Yankees crapped it out. The tournament's on right now.
Some SportsCollision guy you are.
Look at that. Wonderful game going on. It's almost halftime. Close game. We got Virginia, Texas Tech, just like we predicted.
This will go in your file.
Didn't this just like I predicted a few weeks ago?
What, Texas Tech and Virginia?
I think when the day low was on, wasn't that last week?
Pull the audio.
I will.
Well, you say a couple of weeks ago. You make it seem like it was...
It was last week. No, it wasn't like before the tournament by any means.
It's easy to pick the final from the Final Four.
Well, last week we were talking about how they had just got into the Final Four, and that on Saturday they would play the Final Four games, and I believe we said Virginia had lost last year to a number 16 seed, the only one ever in the history, and that it would be apropos for them to win it all.
And there it is.
Now, they're not actually winning at this moment, but whatever, they're in the game.
Our great friends in the NHRA universe were very disappointed. Johnny Pro, he's a Spartan.
Oh, he's a Michigan State guy,
He's a
yes,
Spartan.
obviously.
he was very upset. Elon.
The Gray was not
Auburn.
happy, obviously.
Auburn.
The green team lost.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, they were getting smoked for a while, but then it looked like they were coming back. But
well, the first half was a bit of a game, and then the second half, Auburn just pulled away. No, not Auburn. Texas Tech pulled away. Auburn played Virginia in the earlier game.
And fouled the guy at
and
a three-point shot.
Yeah, no, but they did foul him, man. They can say whatever they want, but that was a foul.
I missed the thing that happened right before that.
He double dribbled. He dribbled the ball off his foot, and he picked it back up, and so that should have been a double dribble. They missed it,
And then a second later, he tries to take a shot and gets fouled.
And then well, there wasn't a lot of time left on the clock to begin with, but look, whatever. That's it. That's the big game shooter. Auburn allowed him to score 6 points in the last 7 or 8 seconds of the game, and he did. So it was a foul. I mean, big stones by that kid. Also to make 3 free throws like that with 56,000 people screaming at you in a football stadium. It's not the same as in a regular basketball arena. The depth perception.
There were more people than at Bristol. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
I meant it more as when they play these basketball games in these at in Indianapolis where the Colts play and these Final Four games in these big football type arenas. It's not the same view and it's the same depth perception as in when they play in an arena in a basketball arena.
No, I remember Coach Norman Dale.
Oh, yeah.
Putting Ollie up on the shoulders to measure. It's 10 feet. And all the measurements were exactly the same.
That is a fact. But that's not what I'm talking about.
As their court back home.
The court itself is the same. Yes, it is.
Hickory.
Yep.
Great movie.
There's like 3 people listening to the audience and to the podcast that know what you're talking about.
Absolutely not. I guarantee there's more.
Reference.
There's way more.
That's it. So you're not even going to mention anything else, so we'll see if they know.
Right.
Damn drunk.
Yeah. Identify. Love it. Yeah, here we go. So, and all right, halftime. 32,
just like that.
29. So it's a razor close game.
This is the way these games have mostly been.
I was going to place a wager.
And you didn't do it. What happened? I know what you're going to do. You're going to take the Yankees to win it all.
At 5-2.
Oh, 5-2 already?
Yeah.
I thought you said it was like 10-1.
No, well, I had heard 10-1, and I heard 6-1, and then 5-2 is the number.
Yeah, well, 5-2 is you know.
So I'm not going to put
$2.5.
$100 out there and just let the Vegas gods hold it to maybe win the World Series and get 5-2.
Yeah, kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's not enough. So I did not place any sports wagers. I did have an incredible run at the tables.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of the epic, like my third best single sitting in my personal history. It was pretty amazing, in fact. Let's see. Formula One in China this weekend. Ferrari versus Mercedes.
The 1,000th race.
Will the pendulum swing?
That.
The 1,000th race.
I saw, a lot of, what would you call that? Special paint scheme helmets?
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go. Saw a few guys posting their helmets. Rogro had one.
Rogro. Cool. Haas F1 report.
Yeah.
Coming at you.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, listen, I like special helmets. Did you see Formula One had their best ratings ever in the United States for that last race? So there's something about that, and I think Haas F1 is part of it. And I think ESPN, I think the coverage is part of it too. Commercial free.
That's the most important part. It really is. There's no reason.
But the side-by-side, I forget which race I was watching, I guess 2 weeks ago. Several instances. They go to break, and it's in the little box, and there's a crash happens, and
they don't come back from break.
And they just let it run out.
Yeah, okay.
And so you're aware of it.
I don't understand the point of this. Now that you mention it, that's a great thing because it's happened repeatedly on NASCAR and other.
2 weeks ago, it happened a couple of times. Where we're in break, and something's happening, and it's a big moment.
I don't understand what's the point of not cutting back from break immediately, and then you just make it up. We're about to go to caution.
Right.
But that just seems to be another one of those kind of semi-annoying things. But what are you gonna do? I like the Formula One way of commercial free for 2 hours. It's just I think they got to figure out a way to monetize it, and I know they have, and they do. Well,
just like the soccer games never have commercials either, and that's where we're behind, and we've been behind, and I really believe that NHRA drag racing is the sport of the future for the ADD mind that everybody has. Many short races, like we started at noon and we were done at 3 with the race for the most part. We blew through it.
This is a race with less rounds though.
One less round, that is true, but the shorter program and many races, I think, keeps people's attention. But if you can't do the many races like drag racing does, then I think that the move is what Formula One has. About 2 hours, commercial-free, easily watchable, just like these college basketball games. Easily watchable. It's not Tolstoy. You're not there for like 5 hours. The pre, and we're talking about it in the post. Once upon a time when you had Earnhardt out there and you had all these guys, it was cool to see the interaction for a long pre-race because there would be something cool and fun.
I got to say, even the pre-race, I don't even really tune into the pre-race anymore.
To see what? That's the thing.
But I'm wondering, is it me that I'm getting older and I've got less time, and so now, I have to really plan my time out better because I got somebody running around? Or does everyone feel that way?
It's all of these things, and it's no longer new anymore. It's no longer new. Like the whole the coverage and the pre-race coverage, it didn't happen ages ago. That was a new thing. And then when NASCAR first got big, it's like, wow, you get to see the pre-race and walking out on the grid and all that stuff. That was all new. And now we know exactly what's going to happen. We know about that. They're going to talk to a couple of drivers. They're all going to tell us that they're going to win the race, except some of them are definitely not.
Right.
Tell me about the car's great, man. We're going to be great. We did this in practice, and this has happened. We're going to go out there, and we're going to win the race. It's going to be awesome. Okay. And none of them do. One or two is able to do that. You know, you got Michael Waltrip with the camera on his head.
Hey, DW said he's quitting. Did you hear that?
No.
This is his last season.
When did he say that? Because I saw a lot of
Over the
traffic about
weekend.
Darrell Waltrip.
Maybe
people writing
Friday
articles.
or something?
Yeah, I could see that coming.
Yeah, well, you know.
I like Darrell Waltrip.
I like him. I think he's...
I like him. He and Gordon had a little friction, and I feel like Gordon is the future. And I want to hear more Jeff Gordon is really what I want to hear. But Darrell Waltrip, icon, legend, helped make a lot of money in the sport. Even boogity, boogity, boogity. That was a thing. It was great. So I'm not going to say anything bad about DW. No way. But the final year, interesting. All right, time for the Haas F1 report. When Shanghai International Circuit hosts its 16th Chinese Grand Prix, April 12th through 14th, it will also serve as the site for a massive milestone in Formula One's storied history. Its 1,000th Grand Prix. 999 races ago, on May 13th, 1950, at Silverstone Circuit in England, the first Formula One race was contested. Driving an Alfa Romeo 158, Giuseppe Farina won the inaugural race, a 70-lapper around the 4.649-kilometer, 2.88-mile layout on the current grounds of the British Grand Prix. The car was advanced for its time, but incredibly rudimentary for today's world, where hybrid engine machinery and carbon fiber parts long ago replaced the 1.5-liter straight-eight engine and metalwork Farina and his counterparts considered cutting edge. It is appropriate, then, that China, home to both old world ways and brave new world technology, is also home to such an incredibly significant marker for Formula One, et cetera, and so on. And it goes on to talk about Haas F1, the battle for points, et cetera. I'm excited. Where am I going to be? I'm going to be in Houston. We'll be in Houston.
Oh, back-to-back races?
Yeah. I wonder if Matt Man's coming out. Matt Man's back, still out there listening, just so you know.
I am aware.
I was talking about a lot of whatever we were talking about last week. What was it? He straightened me out. Oh, the Marvel comic universe.
Oh,
okay. Where is Captain Marvel? Why is Captain Marvel not just coming out? And he gave me the whole...
did you watch it? Somebody I know watched it, and they told me that.
Watch what?
Captain Marvel.
I saw Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay.
We talked about it on the show last week.
Oh, all right. There you go. I forgot that you were the one that saw it.
I'm the one.
Yeah. I didn't see it.
I'm the one who told. It was good. It was very entertaining. And I guess it just surpassed The Dark Knight.
Okay.
As like maybe in money. Because all the superhero movies compete in terms of who was the biggest for money.
Oh, Aquaman. Remember that?
With Vincent Chase?
Yeah, when Vinny was
Vinny
the top
Chase.
of the world.
Yeah.
Aquaman.
Aquaman was huge.
Oh, yeah.
Aquaman was huge. All right, let's do Fantasy League results. You had me looking at Fantasy League results. Weekly winner, Bulls Wool, 373. Way to go, down under. Phil, right? Bulls Wool.
Yeah.
Came out to NHRA. Give me a little pin for my dad. Thank you very much for that. Fat Tire 22, 169. I can see her Almirola, Steve the Trucker, 364. Team English, 362. Jambalaya J Racing, 359. Bristol, 355. Hockey Dad, Elephant Racers, Patrick the Webmaster, Little Low, and Moonchild, and Stubo, rounding out the top however many. Stubo with 335 points. Very interesting. Now let's do the overall standings with a new secret trick that Lowe has taught us, which is download the PDF. Here it comes.
This is overall standings. You are correct.
There it is.
But now it doesn't have my score highlighted, so I have no idea. Now I got to look for it.
Like where you are?
Yeah, like on the actual site, it's got yours highlighted in yellow.
Dude, I'm on the second page now, man. That's terrible. Brian Spink, zeros across the board. What's up, Brian Spink? Vegas rules. Look at all these guys with zeros across the board. Yeah,
his team has gone to crap.
So is mine. Patrick the Webmaster leads by 30. 2,517 points. I can see her Almirola and Steve the Trucker working hard. Has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks over 300 points.
Back to back.
Yeah.
To back to back to back.
Right. 5 weeks in a row.
5 consecutive weeks.
5 consecutive weeks over 300 points. Now, it doesn't mean quite what it used to because there's stage points.
Yeah.
Remember, everybody wanted, oh, man, you did stage points. Oh, stage points. Whatever. It just changed the scoring system. But it doesn't matter. Still impressive. I haven't had 2 weeks over 300. So that tells you what you need to know. Bulls Wool, third, 116 back. Double O Dead On, 125 back. Jambalaya J Racing, 128 back. Little Low, 138 back. Little Low has 1, 2, 3. No, not consecutive, though. He's got like 5 of the last 6 are over 300.
Dude, I've only got 3 total. And the highest, and I got a 306 and a 312 there, so as you would imagine.
Derail 100, Southern Racer X, Tom Inc., Elephant Racers, and Mr. Fantasy NASCAR is 159 points, along with Royal Flush Racing. You know what, though? I thought this thing had the number next to it, and it doesn't.
What do you mean?
12th, 17th, 25th.
No, you are correct. That it does not.
So how am I? What I'm supposed to do?
Well, what number do you want to know, and I'll try to figure it out.
No. This is an abbreviated program. Everybody can go and look at WFO.
Yeah, how about that?
This is a special circumstance. Let's see. And we just have did hybrid sports collision right in the middle of everything else.
Well, that's because you yelled at me because the basketball game wasn't on.
Right. Get that Yankee loss off the screen, please. Horrible. Game of Thrones this weekend. Sunday night. Game of Thrones is back. I went on the most amazing journey on Thursday in Vegas. So for those that don't know, I went to Jacksonville to the place that does Top Coat, which is the sponsor on Performance TV. And Marvin, by the way, Marvin Rodak, such a great supporter, dives right in, buys some Top Coat, tells him, listens to the show, the whole thing. But anyway, so go up there and in Jacksonville. It was very neat. I got to go on a plane, like a private twin prop plane, and learned a lot about that. Kind of got to experience the rock star, the 70s rock star life, which was cool. But then went from there to Vegas, and I was going to work on Thursday in the customer race, but that got canceled. So now I'm in Vegas Wednesday night, wake up Thursday morning, and have all day Thursday to do whatever the heck I want, which is interesting. So I pounded out some work, knocked out some WFO stuff, Castello Media stuff, and then I was out and available. And I was like, what am I going to do? And I was tired. I really thought about just going to sleep. And then I said to myself, that would be a terrible idea. So instead, I walked from our hotel over to Caesars. And I thought to myself, I'm going to buy something. I'm going to buy something that's Vegas. And, enjoy it. Have it. Whatever it is, pair of jeans, whatever it is. So I end up at the Forum Shops and just walking all over Caesars Palace, which was fantastic, beautiful. Checking out art galleries and all kinds of fine art galleries in Caesars Palace.
I recall walking around there. Yeah.
And so I go into all these fine art galleries, and I'm looking and appreciating the artwork, and it's like, man, this is great. It's like going to a museum, except I'm in Vegas. Had an espresso, walked all around that place. Then went over to the Bellagio. And I'm in the Bellagio, and go back and I see that display that they have every, it changes seasonally, the Christmas display and the Thanksgiving display and whatever. It was a bunch of, like Asian theme, everything made out of flowers and was beautiful. And then I say to myself, let me go ask when that Game of Thrones light show is. Because if you don't know anything about the Bellagio, they have got the fountains. You should know that. You might not got the Norman Dale reference, but you should know the Bellagio has fountains. That's something that's pretty mainstream. But what you may not know is there's a show on HBO called Game of Thrones, which is a big sensation. It's a very popular program.
Okay, I'm going to guess that more people know about the Game of Thrones than might know about the Bellagio fountains, considering that Game of Thrones is the world's most popular TV show.
Is it? Are you just making that up? Speaking of hyperbole, that it's the world's most popular TV show? It's going to be big. It's going to be a big thing. And so, HBO and the Bellagio did a cross-promotional thing by doing the Game of Thrones open music and the fountain show together.
Well, yes, there is a
Game of Thrones fountain show.
There is always a fountain show at the fountains, yes.
Every 15 minutes.
Yes.
All kinds of different stuff. But they do a once a night or something, Game of Thrones. And so I go walking up to the guy, and I was like, hey, man, when's that Game of Thrones thing happening? And he goes, in 4 minutes.
That's perfect. So
it was unbelievable. So I ran right down. He goes, get in front, because there's holograms of the dragons and stuff, and you can't see it unless you're in front. And so I hustled down there, stood there, and sure enough, Game of Thrones, man. And it was awesome. It was like this great energy because everybody there was a Game of Thrones fan. They were all there and enjoyed it. And then started walking over to Cosmo, realized I left my Players Club card in a slot machine in the Bellagio, ran back to get it, and then just gave up and went back. But it was a great experience. Then, Friday night, me and Jason Logan from Team Mellow Yellow decide we're going to go over to this new thing called the Link, right? Formerly Imperial Palace for you Vegas people. That's where the high roller is. I sit down at a blackjack table. I was not really, I don't know, I haven't been into the gambling mind state for a while. Like sit down at the tables. There it is. Is that what you started to do 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Gosh, man. Well, let's enjoy it for a moment if you work that hard for it. I saw him start to do something a long time ago.
Out of my ears, man.
What's this guy doing? and this is it.
That's it. Enough.
Yeah, get rid of it. I'm very excited about it. We got eight episodes left, and we can find out what happens now. If you haven't, let me give you this, Game of Thrones. If you haven't watched any Game of Thrones to this point, you should just start watching now because everything that I have invested into this has been a total waste of time. There's 8 episodes left, and all the good stuff is going to happen now. And I will get you up to speed in 2 seconds if you want. There's an army of dead people coming down to kill all the alive people. And all the alive people have been spending the last however many years politicking and fighting against each other, like the Hatfields and the McCoys. You can imagine, medieval houses, families like this one and that one, and except guess what?
Well,
here come the army of dead people to kill them all.
I've never seen
and there's going to be a big battle. There's going to be epic wars and battles for 8 episodes. And there's dragons, and one of them is dead. It's a ghost zombie dragon, and it's going to be epic and unbelievable for 8 episodes. So if you want to just skip all that stuff that I went through and just start, because you got to remember,
like you said, I'm not a complete idiot. Game of Thrones, the Dungeons and Dragons and medieval stuff. I assumed there was a bunch of, kings and queens and different, medieval families offing each other.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I've never really seen it, but I did see that last episode of the last season.
Yeah,
the ones with the dragon situation.
Yeah, where the dragon melts the wall.
I saw about the second half or a good amount of that episode because Mrs. Gio obviously watches the show and watches religiously.
Yes.
But so it's hard to avoid sometimes as you walk by there and and you see it on. I've never sat through a whole episode start to finish.
Well,
I've seen pieces and 10 minutes at a time here and there, every few weeks or so.
Nothing gets this popular without being good. It's very well done. It's extremely well done. It's been going for a long time.
Yeah, like 6 or 7 years.
Mrs.
From what I understand.
Giovanni got me involved in it, and I had to catch up, binge watching episode 3 seasons worth to get on episode season 4, which I did.
And this is what, season 8?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe it's 8. And so,
yeah, I'm definitely not going to binge watch anything.
No one.
And if I really felt like it, I'll watch some. But to be honest with you, I don't have that kind of. When does it come on? This is coming week.
Sunday night, 9 o'clock.
At the very least, it's not competing with any kind of.
It's something. Like Sunday night, 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock. It's the Sunday night slot on HBO.
Yeah.
I think you should definitely watch it. It's going to be really interesting because these dead people, they move in a very bizarre way. They're hard.
Zombies
they're hard to stop, right? They're zombie-like.
The guys at work are always talking to me about Walking Dead, and that's another thing that I have really no interest in.
I have zero Walking Dead experience.
Yeah,
zero.
I know they love it, and they're constantly talking about it, and they're like, oh, we don't want to spoil it. I'm like, I'm not going to watch it, so you guys might as well talk about it all you want.
I don't know. This is different. It's fantasy. I'm not into post-apocalyptic America stuff. Because that could happen, not the zombies necessarily.
So, yeah, in non-sports collision, yes, the Game of Thrones is going to be coming to an end soon.
Yeah, no, this is it. 8 episodes and it's over.
I predict the blonde girl with the dragons is going to win.
I don't know, man. I think this is the kind of show where they could definitely not give us what we want.
I saw her doing an interview recently.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, the girl from that plays Arya Stark went on...
I don't know that. I only know the blonde girl, and I know the girl
that... Go on, Jimmy Kimmel, and lied and said that her character died, and I could see
Lana
right through
Headey,
it.
I think is her name or something like that. She played... there was a TV show, The Terminator.
Yeah.
Like the movie. And she played John Connor's mom. And she's one of the... I've seen her on the show a lot.
Which one is she? She's...
I don't know their names.
She's a Lannister. Well, look it up, man.
All right.
I don't know these people's names either. I know their character names. But I know I got to experience the Game of Thrones fountain show, which puts me in like a 1/10 of 1% of the fans out there. What a weekend, man.
She plays Cersei Lannister?
Yeah, that's right. Cersei Lannister, exactly.
Right.
I knew it. It's just based on age and stuff. And, yeah, there's an incestuous relationship with her brother, and she's really a kind of a witch. She did some really horrific stuff to some people, but they had it coming. And she also did the Walk of Atonement, which was a big thing. Shame. Ding. Shame. Ding.
Oh, that's like the Scarlet Letter?
It's its own horrific thing. Like, the show is full of extremely horrific and brutal things. It's whole...
Yeah, it's medieval. Come on. We all know what happens when you get medieval on somebody's arse.
Right. Except they knew that people already have an idea of what medieval is, so they had to, like, really go extreme. Get really medieval. Like, what was it like? It's really a horrible thing. In many ways, you're rooting for the army of the dead. Like, man, just go kill everybody. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to come.
Put him in the Iron Maiden.
Yeah. Oh, the Iron Maiden is nothing compared to the stuff that has gone down on this show. You would choose the Iron Maiden in a second. Please, put me in the Iron Maiden. Or
I got a question with the
top
coat.
Or you could become a reek.
I got a question with the top coat.
Gio as
one
Reek.
Bottle is like the record, like that's enough for a vehicle?
Yes, supposedly more than one vehicle.
All right.
You'll be able to do a vehicle multiple times with one bottle of top coat. Yeah.
Oh, but it says that you never have to use it ever again.
No, that's not true, and it doesn't say that.
Whoa.
It doesn't say that.
What if you never had to wash your car, truck, or motorcycle again?
That's not what you said. You said you never have to use it ever again. What they want you to do, all right, first of all, we're talking Top Coat. They are not technically a WFO sponsor, but I like them very much. It's a little counterintuitive. It's like a sealer wax replacement thing that is water-based, and you spray it on and wipe it off. They say you can spray it on a dirty car. I would not do that. But that it's so slick because of its micro, nano, super technology that it's slipperier than soap. Like you're putting soap and water on there.
I don't question the science because...
But I'm not doing that. Like that's just not, it's against my DNA. I can't do it.
I don't understand how Zelle sends people money through their phone number.
I'm on
Zelle
somehow
it does.
Yeah.
All right?
Right. Well, exactly.
And I know it works, and I don't really care to know how it works. But somehow, through your phone number, they know all your stuff, and you can send and receive money.
Well, your bank has to get connected to it. So they basically contact you and your bank, and that's it. But The benefit is that the stuff is so slippery that future dirt doesn't stick to your vehicle as easily. It comes off. And so once you do it a couple of times with this little spray bottle, you hit it, it's really good. And also the fact that you're using the same substance on all aspects of your vehicle. The rubber, the plastic, the glass, it's the same stuff.
No more Rain-X?
No more Rain-X. This stuff works as good or better than Rain-X. The creams, the interior, the dashboard, like it does all of the stuff. You put it on leather.
The same stuff on the inside and the outside?
The carpeting. Right. Except, yes, it works. I've seen it. Trust me, I'm a skeptical person.
I know.
And
that's the whole
I was
point.
very skeptical of it.
Increíble.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I don't really think you should let your interior get that dirty that you need that stuff on the interior. That's my personal religion when it comes to it.
Yeah, but you do spray stuff on your interior, don't you?
I do. I did. I'm sorting that out personally. Not on the rug though. I don't ever my rug is never dirty. Then I need rug shampoo. They put it on the rug.
Apparently, it's pretty popular in Canada because I went to the website and you keep getting this little thing that says 1 kit was just sold in Ontario, Canada, and 3 kits were sold in Alberta.
They have an amazing system, and I learned about the product.
Oh, here you go, Kansas City, 2 kits.
The guy,
I'm contributing now.
He was sitting at a stoplight, and he was living his life, doing his thing, and got rear-ended by a giant box truck.
Oh, the Roach Coach.
No, a bigger, a UPS
style
all right.
thing,
a Circuit City delivery van, the kind of thing.
Yeah, one of those 28-foot trucks,
right.
Delivery trucks. Yeah,
creamed him, and so now he went from normal life to in hospital, and going to be in a hospital bed maybe for the rest of his life.
Oh, that's terrible.
And this concept hit him there, and he made it happen as will and determination to make it, and in more personal fashion. I won't give up the whole story because that's what we just went up there to shoot. He didn't want his kids to think he was a quitter. He wanted to show them that he's still going to fight to the very last, even from the hospital bed. And now he walks, and he's got a Lamborghini, and it was really cool. We did a burnout in the Lamborghini on an airstrip. I didn't, but I was there for it.
Wow, I was going to say, I'm shocked that you would have done that.
Oh, I would have done a burnout, but he's not going to let me do a burnout in his Lamborghini. Definitely not. But it was a good experience. It was good. Anyway, so far, man, I think the product is something. I cannot wait to do my own car, and I just don't have time. I'm not going to do that. I'm here today and tomorrow, right? Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to Houston. For NHRA.
What is this Houston you speak of?
And right after Houston, going straight back to Johnson City, Tennessee for more Performance TV.
Houston.
And then coming back and it's Easter. And then we're going to Charlotte. And blah, blah, blah.
The bunny. How about those Reese's bunny eggs? I like some of those for Easter. Anybody out there listening?
The Cadbury cream eggs?
No, not Cadbury. The Reese's.
I don't know about them.
Oh, man. Google the Reese's.
What, it's a new
Easter
thing?
Eggs. Yeah. I got to tell you. Anybody that's getting me anything for Easter, I want it to include those Reese's.
Well, no one's getting anything for Easter, so
egg
you don't have to worry
buttercups.
about that. And 2, I thought, what happened to the big health kick? I thought you were going to try to slim down. I thought you realized that your obesity
the first
was
step
going.
of slimming down is not getting any bigger.
What? It's peanut butter.
Yeah, of course. It's
just
a Reese's.
It's a Reese's shaped like an egg.
Yes.
So what's the difference between that and a regular peanut butter cup?
It's different.
It's shaped like an egg.
Yeah.
89 cents. I would eat one.
I'm ready to eat like a baker's dozen.
Yeah, no, I know, obviously.
But anyway.
I know you're hungry.
Yeah, actually.
I know you're hungry.
I am kind of hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. The last food I had all day today was I had a massive breakfast at the Pepper Mill.
Oh, sweet.
I had an omelet, and it was unbelievable.
Ginormous, I'm sure.
The Pepper Mill, man. I told everybody about the Pepper Mill. I went to the Pepper Mill for breakfast on Friday morning.
Okay.
Sat there, had the Joe's San Francisco Joe's thing, which is ground up sausage.
I don't
in
know
an
the
egg.
menu that well. Sorry.
Oh, you don't have the menu memorized, huh? Well, you're not as Pepper Mill as I am, I guess.
Clearly.
I don't have it memorized either, but my name is in the name of this thing. and that's why I remember it. So I tried that. It was great. And I went back there today when I found out my flight was delayed. I was supposed to fly out at 8:30. I didn't fly out till noon. So what was I going to do with that time? Go to the Peppermill. There's a line out the door. Everyone is like, just milling around. It's like, you got one? You got room for one? Yeah, right at the counter. Sat down, coffee, omelet, bacon. Unbelievable. It was a fantastic experience. Privately owned, by the way, Peppermill. I mentioned them on Facebook. They replied to me. Thank you for coming in. I thought it was very nice. Peggy was fantastic. Be sure to say hello to Peggy when you go to the Peppermill Fireside Lounge. I don't think we'll ever get a sponsorship, but just being like a minor celebrity there would be cool. But that's the last food I've consumed. And here I am now. So, interesting.
All right. Look, I wasn't asking for your sympathy. I was just asking for a
No, you wanted
Easter
for
egg.
an Easter egg. Exactly. Well, it's 2 weeks away, man. Got a lot of time for things to happen. We'll see if Peter Cottontail shows up. That's a big thing. Are you going to have the annual Easter egg hunt?
I guess, probably.
Yeah, you're going to have a big Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, I think
Send
the
the kid
kid's
out there
still
to find
into
the
that
eggs.
stuff.
Of course. You better have the Easter egg hunt. That was one of the big disappointments in my life when I was...
That's not this Sunday. That's not a week from yesterday, right? It's 2 weeks from yesterday.
Correct.
All right, cool.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Grow some eggs.
Yeah, no, not quite. I do it the old-fashioned way. I go to Costco and I buy one of those big trays or two.
What is the new modern way, if that's the old-fashioned way?
I guess, like you said, growing the eggs.
There's only one way to do the eggs, man. You buy them, okay, and then you dye them with paws.
Oh, you know, we live between my house and your house. There's a lot of places where there's just chickens all over the place.
Yeah. Get a chicken to grow some real eggs. No way.
No, those are different chickens. Those are used more for the witchcraft.
So let me tell you my gambling story, since that's really what this show has degenerated into, which is fine. At the Link, which is now a new hip spot, right, with like girls dancing around up on stages while you are playing gambling. And, there's been inflation. Back in the day when I used to go to Vegas on a regular basis and sit at tables, you could find a $5 a hand blackjack table most of the time. And if not 5, definitely 10.
I would say $10 a hand was really...
I played on many $5 a hand blackjack tables at regular big casinos. Well, now those are gone, and it's $15 pretty much. They had one $10 table, which was just swamped, and a bunch of $15 tables. So I was like, okay, here we go. Getting in on it now.
But a big high roller like you should be playing quarters, man.
That is such an ignorant statement. Big high roller like me. The idea that I could, with $100, I could last 4 hands, that's not going to happen.
As opposed to 6.
You're going to get
with
wiped out.
$15.
Well, right. So but I started off with $140.
All right.
That's what I'm going, because I want to be able to go like 10 hands. So that was close enough. Okay. Well, immediately I got a split. Boom, split. Win, win. Next thing, double down. Win. Next thing, win. I'm just winning. I'm winning nonstop. Right? Winning. And the dealer named Sarah, right? Real positive energy girl. Things going good. Jason's winning. I'm winning. These two girls come sit down. They start to play. We start to lose.
Oh, the coolers. They send in coolers.
But we survived them. And then they left. And then we started to win again.
Oh, the dealer didn't like the girls.
Winning.
Wasn't giving you guys the good cards when the girls showed up.
And then these other two guys show up. And we battled with them there as well. It was just going great. It's a hybrid blackjack game where you're playing blackjack, but you make an additional $5 bet on each hand. And if you get a blackjack, you get to spin a wheel. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's Wheel of Fortune blackjack.
It's pretty much. So
Was Vanna there?
there was no Wheel of Fortune. It was just a wheel. Just a wheel. No fortune. No Vanna.
Vanna wasn't spinning me a letter?
You put the $5 chip down in this little circle, turns on a light. If you get a blackjack, then you do this little thing in there and it spins the wheel. It's a digital wheel. It's not a real wheel. Digital.
It's a make-believe wheel.
Digital. Exactly. It's on a screen. But anyway, it goes around, and maybe you win $10,000 or $2,000 or $750 or $50.
Or nothing.
No, you always win.
There's no bankrupt.
If you get a wheel spin, you're going to win something. The least you're going to win is 50, which I won every time. I got to spin the wheel like 6 times, 5 times, a lot. Spun the wheel a lot. Missed it a couple times,
Dude,
too.
you should have won a lot more than you won, man.
Not really. If
you got 6 special spins,
at $50
man.
a pop, there's $300 right there. 55 one time, 50. But I was good.
So you didn't get the $10,000 one, huh?
No, man.
Damn.
I wouldn't be here. Do you think I would be here?
You would
Do you
have
think
stayed?
I would have showed up to work?
Stayed?
Yeah, I would have stayed. If I won $10,000.
You would have gone from Vegas straight to Houston.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, we were talking about it. That we might have gone outside of Clark County.
Oh, I know what that means.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would have got pretty crazy.
Debauchery.
But I did not do that. But I had the glow, though, the victory glow, right? It was going on. So finally, now I want to win story. Like, I want to come back with money, man. And so I'm like, we got to get up. We got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. It's going to turn. Like, I'm starting to get tired. I got bored of winning. I was winning so much. You know me. I can't sit in the same spot for 2 hours. That's why I don't understand our poker guys. How anybody sits anywhere for 9 hours. Like, forget what you're doing. Whatever it is. It's just not. I could never do it. You could be a sniper out there in the ground staring at a mark for 15 hours. You sitting at a poker table winning money. Can't do it. Not happening. So finally we get up. We're walking out of the casino. I see the guys from Tasca's team. I tell them, go sit down with Sarah. She's turning over cards. They ran in there. They sat down. They won money. They killed it.
Oh, man, you guys got that girl fired. She was just giving money away, huh?
And when she did the tap out, where they said, the next person took it all back.
I would have, yeah.
You got to get up.
When they switch dealers on you,
you leave.
You know, maybe a hand or two just to test it out, but back off right away and get the heck out of Dodge, man, because that's what they're doing in there. They're cooling you off. They're trying to just change the momentum.
Yeah.
I know these stat guys don't believe in momentum, but it's a real thing.
No, it is a real thing. Well, there's cosmic forces. There just is, and there's energy, and there's just a whole thing. It was good. So I did well. I did good there. Went out to the track, did the pre-race. It was cool. Then after the race, we went same crew, Tasca's guys, and some of the TV.
You don't
folks.
have to out anybody out.
I'm not going to. But we went on the high roller. I've been wanting to go on that high roller since they put it up.
So now, what were you spending now? Like $100 a hand?
No,
high roller?
No, man, no. First of all, you can just assume in the future that will never, ever happen, 100 a hand. But no, honestly, since you're on that, because I did feel...
You just said you went in the high roller.
The thing, high roller is the Ferris wheel. The big, it's like a bar car.
Oh, it's not like the high roller?
No, it's a big Ferris wheel, and it kind of turns. It was a sort of
like
rolling.
Went into that secret section, the high roller area with the super duper slot machine and stuff.
Are you familiar with Kenny Koretsky?
Yes,
okay.
Of course.
Okay, he and
I've heard about that guy. Captain
he and
Chaos.
I have nothing in common. There's nothing high roller about me
but
at all.
But you just told me I went into the high rollers. I thought you were
It's the name of a
hanging
Ferris
out
wheel.
with Kenny. Yeah,
it's the name of a Ferris wheel.
I figured you guys each had your own row of slot machines.
Yes, exactly. Why would you think that?
Because you just said I went in the high roller. To me, that's that area, the high roller room.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Come on.
Nope. You know my financial situation.
But you just told me you won a whole bunch of money playing cards.
Yeah, but not really. That's the whole thing. Everything's relative.
Exactly.
I did good for me. And I ran out of there, and I actually had a little regret. Like, man, if I had played more aggressively. Because I was getting the cards, and looking back after the fact, I did well. So instead of betting, $50 a hand, I should have been betting $100.
Absolutely.
$200.
Especially when you were getting the cards when they were in your favor.
But that's the thing, is you don't know that until it's after. If I put the $200 hand, you lose, and then I come back with...
That wiped you out like your last 10 hands.
Exactly. I was playing conservatively because I wanted the victory, man. I wanted to walk away a winner. But, yeah, I got a lot of good cards.
Well, I'm glad you had fun.
It was good.
Sounds like fun. Sounds like a good time.
I highly recommend the high roller as well. Do the $45 deal. Where
Winning
you get
is
the open
always
bar.
fun.
Winning is always fun, but even can become a little boring if you do it for too long. I get tired of winning. That's real, apparently.
Yeah, well, aren't we all tired
of winning?
It's a very American problem.
I know.
Speaking of American problems,
Yes.
wow, I'm going to segue back to about a bunch of shows ago that I had something on my mind because I discovered this at work, but it actually happened at home too. I realized what is wrong with our country and why the rest of the world hates us.
Oh, man. This is interesting. All right.
You ready for this? I don't know if you have these because I haven't gone over there and looked in the kitchen, but scented garbage bags are the fall of Western civilization.
I don't know, man. I kind of like the idea right off the top. I've never seen them.
What do you mean you've never seen them? The hefty bags now come with Febreze scent. And I'd never considered it, but I bought it because I buy the Glad, whatever they are, the big yellow box you sell at the Costco.
Just to know, Giovanni purchased perfumed garbage bags.
Yes, and I didn't even realize it.
Ah, so you say.
And then, because you know what? I just didn't think of it. But now the Glad bag comes like with Febreze. And then I realized it at work that I was looking at it, I'm like, I poured one out, and the new bags aren't the scented ones. They got the regular, the non-Glad ones, and the non-Glad ones aren't scented. And deep down inside, I was like, oh, man, how terrible. We got the non-scented garbage bags. And immediately I felt
first world problem.
Horror
right.
of, oh, my God.
Yeah.
I can't believe I was about to complain that they bought the non-scented garbage bags.
Okay, well, wait.
I felt very badly.
But are the scented garbage bags that much better?
Oh, I'll bring you some if you want to try.
No, I'll buy them right away. It sounds like an ingenious idea.
Well, the Glad ones, I mean, they are not a sponsor, but they come with Febreze. You know the Febreze stuff?
They probably, the same parent company
I'm
probably
sure
makes both of them. And somebody in the corporate office said, dude, let's put some Febreze on the garbage bag.
Well, what happened was one guy was putting a new garbage bag, and the other guy was coming around with the Febreze bottle.
Like the Reese's peanut butter
and
cups.
they crashed.
Right.
And then the bottle fell inside the bag, and now we got Febreze garbage bags.
Wow. So, yeah, first world problems. The Febreze
But, yeah, it made me
bags.
feel, I was like, wow, you know what?
Damn it.
Scented garbage bags has got to be a reason why people hate us.
Okay, first of all, I think the people hate us thing is overblown.
No, but I mean, I
think people still love Americans in America and our swagger way. We're still cool. That's number one. Number two, yeah, man, we come up with crazier stuff than that. Let me show you the Crown air freshener. Let me show you like thousands of things. America.
No, man, the scented garbage bag is really a sign of our wimpiness.
No, it's not. We just don't want to smell bad smells. That's us.
It's a damn garbage bag, dude.
No, man. You don't want to smell bad smells. Even garbage bag. It's gross.
I put it out pretty much every night just so that it doesn't smell bad.
Right. That's it. That's a very American thing. We don't look at the deodorant situation. We still lead.
What, you don't use any?
We lead the world in using those kind of products to avoid us from smelling. Whereas other parts of the world, they're kind of just okay with smelling. You ever get next to someone from a different country and there's just a aroma?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's not.
The vast majority of the time is
the cultural thing.
It's the crap that they eat. It's coming out through their skin.
No, it's a cultural thing about bathing and stuff. We do it way more than everybody else.
I don't know if it's the bathing. I think other people do bathe. I think some of these cultures don't use the deodorant, and some of them do use the deodorant.
No,
but again,
we
the
bathe
crap
way
that
more
they
than
eat
everybody else
comes out through their pores.
We bathe more than everybody else.
I've experienced this once. I've been so intoxicated that I swear I was sweating alcohol for like days.
Yeah. No, I've been there for that.
All right.
I've been there for that. It definitely comes out.
So those people that eat that ghee and crap.
Yeah, but that's not the people I was talking about. You immediately go to.
Well, the people that I've associated with that stink.
Right. See, I wasn't thinking about those people. I was thinking about just like people who are normal people, but instead of taking the 2 showers a day like the average American, they take one every other day. And so every once in a while, you catch them in a tough spot.
Yeah.
There was a guy on the plane, not the guy that I told you guys about 2 times ago. This was just on this trip. And he was right in front of me, man. Big dude, jolly, and I could smell it. I was like, oh, no. I was like, dear Lord, baby Jesus, please don't do this to me now. This was in Jacksonville. Jacksonville to Charlotte. Please, Lord, No.
That's a long way.
No. And he went past.
Oh.
But man, there was like a 3-foot perimeter around him.
Your prayer was answered.
An odor perimeter.
You were protected by your donations.
I was protected by something. Some cosmic force intervened. Thank goodness.
Boy.
Thank goodness. We got anything else to talk about? Obviously, I want to thank our great sponsors like Magic Try and CatspotLitter.com. And, of course, Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School and Rodax Coffee and Grills.com, Marvin Rodak. You should definitely get some hot sauce and spice rub from Marvin Rodak. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology, doing a great job for WFO. Hankstifer's Metalworking Lubricants, Dr. Hankstifer. Matt Sackman got his Top Fuel license today. And we are going to have Matt on the show. How about we haven't talked about any drag racing? Because I got NHRA Nitro tomorrow. You don't ask questions, Gio. Did you watch the race? Did you see the program?
I saw some of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know who won?
Yeah, I believe I do.
Who do you believe won?
J.R. Todd?
Yep.
Woo! Bo Butner?
Yes. Triple hole shot.
Matt Smith?
No.
No?
No.
Huh. Okay.
Hector Arana Jr.
Oh, sorry, Junior.
Okay.
And
let's go. Let's see, either 3 out of 4 or 500. Here we go.
What didn't I say? I didn't say.
You didn't say Top Fuel.
Top Fuel. I saw this, and so I'm very upset with Mike Salinas.
There it is.
Woo!
3 out of 4.
Right.
75%. Not bad. Salinas getting his first win. It was great. Very interesting. Cool final
and I want
round.
everybody to know that I was stalling, but I did not cheat.
I didn't.
I would have told
I was
you
watching
guys.
him. He did not cheat.
No, you can tell when I'm in here trying to fidget and trying to figure out the internet.
Yeah.
It's
Final round was interesting because you had. Here, how did it work? You had Brittany Force. No, you had Mike Salinas, who had Alan Johnson as his crew chief, who used to be Brittany Force's crew chief. But Brittany Force was in the final, who had David Grubnick as her crew chief, who used to be Clay Milliken's crew chief, who was also in the final with his new crew chief, Mike Klober, and also Doug Coletta in the final. So, you had like all the crew chiefing stories.
David Grubnick used to be Coletta's crew chief too?
Coletta fired Grubnick from driving at Vegas and hired J.R. Todd.
There you go.
So there was all kinds of weird sub-stories represented in that final round.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. A lot of great stories in alcohol ranks. Jackie Frick winning. Jackie and John Fink that I went up to the test session.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were victorious.
What's
Chris
his name?
Marshall.
Race guitar. Oh, by the way, where the hell has Race Guitar been? Haven't talked to him, feels like, for months.
His truck blowed up. Do you know that?
I bet you it was user error.
Yeah. No,
It usually is. I'm just saying.
I don't want to rub it in. I'm just making light of it to let him know that I know what's going on with you.
No, I do. I follow his life on the Twitter that he posts out there.
But he had
I think
a problem.
he said it stopped snowing finally up there.
Done blowed up. I ran into a lot of people that say it is still snowing in various places. Winter is never going to end.
Man, it's summer down here. Well, no, I'm sorry. I take that back. It is not summer like. It is hot like, but it is not humid and muggy at all. It actually has been very nice, even though it's been pretty warm. It's been breezy, and it's felt very nice. I'm not going to badmouth our weather just yet.
Shouldn't badmouth anything.
No, the summer sucks, man.
You should be. I don't think so. You know.
Come on, man.
No, it's not.
It's 90 degrees and 120% humidity. You sweat just by walking to the car for 30 seconds.
Oh, that is a fact. But my
all right,
experience
come
is,
on.
listen, going to Norwalk in July, it's worse. Like, that's the thing is I've experienced our summers.
I don't know. It just feels like a sauna out here.
We
outside
have an
all the
ocean
time.
breeze. We have this wonderful ocean breeze. Imagine that with no breeze. Kansas. Chicago. No breeze. Chicago's a windy city, but where the track is.
Yeah, but that's
No breeze. It's hot. It's hot. There were a couple of times that it's just been we are steamy. Sauna is a good word, but we always have a breeze, which
I wouldn't
makes
go
it
that far, but yeah.
manageable. Let's see. Anything else we got to talk about? Sports Collision? Anything? We already talked about the Yankees in the Final Four.
Yeah, Tuesday night is Dwayne Wade's last home game.
Virginia is pulling away.
Are they? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, 55-47. 7 minutes, 30 seconds left. Texas Tech needs to get after it now. They just got to stop.
Look at Joe doing play-by-play.
Yep.
What are you working on
foul.
next career? Wow, they almost took that guy's face off.
Yeah, that was brutal. All right. Yeah, doing a little play-by-play right there. That was kind of fun.
But, I'm excited about China F1 this weekend.
Me too.
Hopefully the Haas's run better. Hopefully, Ferrari, if there doesn't give away another race. That was
Let's not go back. Let's not go back to that point.
Baseball is starting. It's a little early to tell, but things are a little weird. Baltimore was in first place after 5 games.
I watched a documentary on the plane about...
The Molly Crew one?
No.
Somebody was telling me about that.
Guy named Gianni Agnelli, who is the father of Fiat, kind of. It's very interesting. He's Italian. And,
no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The Gianni gave it away to me.
Really good. I didn't get through it all. I had 20 minutes left when we landed. But it was an HBO doc. It was really good. Like, whoa. Talking about just everything, Like, I think this guy's like a millionaire playboy back in the day, but he was also a smart, good guy. Maybe he even had an affair with Jackie Kennedy. Possible.
Wow.
Yeah, rumors. Jack had to send him send her a telegram and said, like, knock it off. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he knocked it off.
Well, exactly. Well, in fact, the telegram was like, more Caroline, less Agnetti, meaning spend more time with your daughter. But it was pretty good. Pretty good stuff. A lot went down. All right, well, then we're done. We have gotten to the end of this edition, this very impromptu version.
Last minute almost didn't happen.
Almost didn't
version
happen.
Of
WFO Ignition.
Again, my unquestionable work ethic.
Yeah, unquestionable. Whatever, I'm down.
What are you down with?
That you have an unquestionable work ethic. There it is. WFO.
You got to pot it up a little bit higher than that.
No.
I know.
It's up, man.
No.
It's your side, yeah.
Oh, no
You got
way.
a jacket. Crank
It's the jacket. All right.
Crank it, baby. Crank it. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. Thank you very much. See, now he's cranking it. Now he's moving.
I did.
Now he's moving. Spider. Had a good time. All you folks who said what's up in Vegas, thank you so much. I'll be out there in Houston this weekend. Come on out. Gonna have a whole lot of fun. Houston.
What is this Houston you speak of?
What is this Houston?
I don't understand it.
See you next time, everybody.
They need
WFO.
machines to fly.
Remember, NHRA Nitro. Right. They need machines to fly. How funny. NHRA Nitro. I can't tell you who we're going to have, but we're supposed to have everybody. We'll see how it all goes. Later.
The views and opinions of the hosts, guests, or callers do not necessarily reflect that of the station ownership, advertisers, or agencies.
Yeah, welcome to the party.